back to the 5 Percenters. I'm your host, Nathan Barber. This is the accountability show where I follow an inspiring entrepreneur every week on their journey from initial concept to a business that's firing on all cylinders. This is a continuation of my conversation with Daniella, who is launching 2 businesses at the moment, Model Me, Cake Toppers, and a community of aspiring Black leaders to network, grow, and learn from each other. So welcome back to the show, Daniella.
Thank you for having me back.
So Daniella, can you just tell our audience, for those that haven't been listening to the previous shows, what the 2 businesses are and what stage are you at with both of them at the moment?
Well, I'm not necessarily comfortable with calling both of them businesses. The network is one of the ones that I'm quite passionate about at the moment. I've been looking around and thinking there's lots of networks for professionals in many different fields and many different areas. Within the Black community, I feel that we're kind of lacking having a strong network. If I want to do business with another Black person, and I'm not going to single out only Black people, there's other people that I do business with, but there's nothing where Black people can come together and network and get services or find out who they can get services from within their own community. So I decided to look at setting up this network, and I'm in the process of doing that at the moment. And the idea is that it will be young professionals, and when I say young, I mean kind of from maybe 25, 26 up to around the age of 40, and it'll be multifaceted. So you'll have your networks, we'll have a website where you can add your membership information, list what your skills are, and you can use that network, I guess, to find other people that you want to network with. But there'll be other things going on, such as mentorship, events, workshops and masterclasses, etc. And the second business is Model Me, and that's having cake toppers. So everybody knows about cake toppers, the little figurines that you put on top of cakes. I wanted to do customizable cake toppers, basically because I know a lot of people that when they've been getting married or having wedding anniversaries, even birthdays, engagement, want cake toppers that reflect them. If you look at the cake topper market, usually they're not very good quality from what I've seen, and it's always an English couple. What about Black couples? What about Asian couples? What about interracial couples? So I want to provide that product for those people that want it.
Okay, so where are you at with both? If you don't want to call them businesses, what do you call them?
Oh, well, I call Model Me is the
project.
business.
Okay.
I'd say the Black Excellence, or Be Excellent, is what the other organisation was called.
Are you going to make money from that?
That's not the aim, which is why I don't want to call it a business, because business would indicate that I'm trying to make money for myself, whereas actually this network is more about creating something that everybody within the community and the network can benefit from.
But why can you not make money from it as well? Will it make money?
Well, it will make money, but it's not going to be money from my own personal...
So you're going to reinvest it back into the business, so it's going to be a social enterprise?
I guess, yeah, for all intents and purposes, that's what it will be.
Okay.
And I do have experience. My first business was as a social enterprise.
Okay. And so why a social enterprise over a limited company? Why not just a pure profit-making?
It can be a limited company, but it being a social enterprise doesn't have to be registered as a social enterprise to be a social enterprise.
Okay.
You can be a limited company and still reinvest your...
But I guess what I'm saying is that, so the business has, it can be a business but has social aims to it as well. So you can still have a profit motive and make profit and reinvest that profit into the business. Mm-hmm. It doesn't necessarily have to be, you didn't have to be set up as a social enterprise.
I didn't say it was going to be set up. You said that.
Oh, I said that. Okay.
Yeah, I didn't actually say it.
Okay. I guess it's because you said one before, and I guess, it's more of a social business. That's why.
It's more of a social business, but as I said, that doesn't mean we're not going to be registered as a limited company.
Right.
It's quite possible that we would be.
Okay, sure. So what stage are you at with both these businesses?
Well, with Be Excellent, I have... I've contacted some key people within the local community in Birmingham, in the UK, that I think will be instrumental in assisting and setting up the initial network. We have, they've all been contacted now. I'm just waiting still for everybody to confirm their availability for our first steering group meeting, because they're going to form the steering group that will assist in, I guess, setting out the SMART objectives. There's kind of a vision that I've put together, but people can obviously add to that, etc. I've done like a mapping exercise with a few of the steering group members to look at exactly what do we think this is going to look like in the first 18 months. So that's already been done. So really, we're just waiting for this date to be set and made concrete. There's an agenda set for the first meeting. We just need to have it. For Model Me, I've had 10 steps forward and 3 steps back. I found somebody that I wanted to create the actual figurines, but after meeting with them and going back and forth with some emails, I'm not necessarily sure if they can produce what it is that I need. One of the key things that I wanted was this idea that somebody can go on a website, they can pick whether they want a couple or they want a single, then they can pick the race of each couple or of the individual, hair type, skin type, whether they're thin or a little bit thick. So it wouldn't necessarily be an exact replica.
But there's some personalization.
Yeah. So if it was for me, I would pick obviously woman, like skin tone black, skin complexion medium brown, hair afro kinky hair. I would like to say reasonably slim build. So it wouldn't be my face, but it would be based upon me. But the people that I thought that were able to do that are not able to customize to the degree that I think is necessary. If we're just going to produce, like, I don't know, a black woman that just looks like me and me alone and only has my attributes alone, the thicker, lighter skinned black lady, or the skinnier, darker skinned black lady, why are they going to want that? Yeah. So I'm kind of back to the drawing board.
So I don't understand why you can't, because my understanding is that you're getting these 3D printed.
Yes.
So I don't understand why you can't have a model for a thicker, light-skinned black lady and a one for a darker skinned one. Why can't you just have multiple models for each,
because there's so many,
female.
Because there's so many variations.
I guess there are many variations.
And based upon what the printer has said, it would be impossible to have a version of each. Because what I wanted to do, because it could be done, is because to do the 3D printing you have to take a picture of the person. So if I had found, me take a picture, I find a thicker girl, a thinner girl, whatever, then you could just change the skin tone, change the hair, but they've said that they're not able to actually do that. In order to get the thicker or the thinner or the lighter or the darker, that has to be the colour of the person and the thickness of the person at the point that the picture's taken. Right. That would be impossible, because that means I'd have to find, somebody of every single race with every different type of hair type.
I guess it depends how far you want to customize it, right?
Well, in my head, we just have a series of blank models and they can be adjusted based upon what people's requirements are. So as I said, we could have, somebody that looks like me, but we could make them lighter, you could make them darker, you could change the hair. That to me is not even super customizable. Changing the thickness and thinness, that even could get left behind for the time being. But I think having the correct skin tone and the type of hair is quite key. Or then what's the point? Because that means it's not going to look
it's not like you then.
Yeah.
So where does this leave you?
As I said, back to the drawing board. So there's been a few things that I've been thinking about. Originally we did look at or discuss sourcing from China, which is something that I really didn't want to do. I preferred the idea of getting it done in the UK.
And why didn't you want to go to China?
Because it's far away, to be honest. I don't necessarily want to work, I wouldn't want to start any business working with or relying upon somebody that I've never met.
But it does happen.
I'm sure it does, but it's not how I would want to do business, and I'm not in any rush to go to China right now. Quality-wise, I've had a few issues when ordering stuff from China in the past. Time-wise, obviously it's going to take a longer time if I order something from China than if I order something from Birmingham. But needs must, so one of the things I'm going to be looking at again is exploring that Chinese option. But then also looking at other countries, there's many other countries other than China.
In Europe,
is there somewhere else in Europe that I could get it done? And looking around the UK. So my original thinking was kind of having them handmade, but then I was thinking really to do them en masse, if they're handmade, might take a while, which is then when we started looking at the idea of 3D printing, because then I thought we could get them batch produced, which we can't. So then it's okay, what other methods is there? And actually maybe speaking to a few model makers and and that kind of thing, and exploring what options are available.
Okay.
But what that has done is it's kind of delayed
Yeah.
all of the things that I said I was going to do. So one of the key things was getting the text or the content, the copy completed for the website. I also wanted to have like a social media page set up and all those kind of things. But until I know exactly what it is I'm going to sell, it's impossible for me to do.
You need to have the product first.
Yeah, and until I have the product, everything's kind of stalled. So I think originally I said I wanted to be selling by the second week in September, but that's
It's delayed you.
Yeah, because where am I getting them made?
Yeah.
And it's really a weird thing for me because my previous business and I guess other dalliances that I've had in the business world, it's always been about services.
Right.
So I've never really had a chance.
Right.
Can I do it or can I not do it? And if I can't do it, I just find somebody who can. This is the first time I've had to deal with a product. And it's kind of blown my mind. Like, okay, they can't do that. So now what?
Yeah.
So I found this out maybe last week Wednesday. And all since then, and it's, what day is it today? Monday? Forgetting the day. I feel like, what do I do? Who do I contact? How does this work? And it's annoying me because I don't know how to solve this problem. And I've never had that. Well, I have had obviously problems that I can't solve, but not because I physically can't do it. This is the first time where it's actually just completely out of my hands and I don't necessarily know how to solve the problem. So I've been a bit stagnant on that one, to be honest.
You did say that another way of doing it was possibly to make it super personalized, to actually get the actual model or the bride to be or the groom to be, to actually get them to have a 3D printing. However, that is customizable to the nth degree. So they would either have to physically be at the 3D printing shop, or you'd have to go to them. Have you discussed that? Have you sort of thought about that as a viable option?
No. The business that I want to start now, given the fact that I worked in a service-led business for the past maybe 10 years actually, and felt that I was just constantly under pressure in terms of me having to be where the service was being presented, I guess. I don't want to do that anymore. I want a product that I can set it up, whether it might be a website or whatever. People can place their orders. I just go and somehow get those orders fulfilled and it's done. I don't want to have to be, if we're going to have people coming to somewhere, that means we have to have a physical location.
Yeah.
If there's a physical location, I have to be at that physical location.
Yeah.
I suppose I could hire someone to do it, but I don't want to do that either,
yeah.
to be honest.
Yeah.
I want something that's automated.
Yeah.
Automatable?
Automated. Zero touch.
Automated.
They can just go online, purchase it, it's with them in a couple of days.
Yeah, and having a physical location restricts the amount of people that I can sell to. If everybody has to traipse to Birmingham, I'm sure some people would travel for it, but it greatly reduces the amount of people that would. For example, just in talking about the product to a few friends, 2 people already wanted to place an order for a fully customized cake topper set. They wanted it to look exactly the same as themselves and the person they was ordering it from. And they were based in London. At the point where I said, well, to do it to that level, you'd have to come to Birmingham, they weren't interested anymore. So not only does it restrict me being able to sell internationally, because who's flying from another country to take a picture, but it even restricts me within the UK. And I don't want anything that's that restrictive at this point. Okay,
so it seems like, as you said, you're going to have to go back to square one with this and really understand actually, what does it look like, what does the product actually look like, and what's the economic viability of it if you can't create it in the state that you want it to. So talk to me about what are you going to do between now and next week to advance this, or at least think about it. What's the next step?
Well, I was on the Goldman Sachs 10,000 Small Business Program a few years ago, which is a program developed by Goldman Sachs, community engagement, I think, department, and it was run in conjunction with Aston Business School. Because I was on the program, I'm now part of the alumni. What I remembered a few days ago is the fact that many people who were on the program were manufacturers of some sort. So what I was thinking is, we've got a group on LinkedIn, maybe I should say what it is I'm trying to do and see if anybody can offer any advice. Maybe there's somebody within the network that actually may be able to do what it is that I need doing. And then also, I guess, starting to explore like it's just such a new world for me. I don't even
Yeah.
know the terminology, but I guess the materials. So does it have to be made of, I don't know, could it be made of clay?
Yeah.
Can it be made of some sort of super industrialized resin? I don't even know the term.
But how does that change the problem that you already have?
Because maybe depending on the materials that are used,
you can get them sculpted by an artist or something like that?
Yeah, I don't know. But
it's possible.
Yeah, but I guess if we move away from the 3D printing idea, which we already know then, for 3D printing, people have to come here. Does that apply to every other method of making it? If you did, I don't know why I keep saying resin, but that's in my head. Poly resin, I don't know where that came from. But if it's poly resin, can poly resin people print onto poly resin based on a picture? Can we do a video? Can we measure somebody's head and the distance from the top of their head to their nose, from their nose to their chin, and work it out from that? I don't know.
Okay. So this week you're gonna be this week you're gonna be researching possible options. Basically, that's what you're doing.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Talk to me about the for the few minutes that we've got left in the show. Talk to me about the community project. Be Excellent is the name of it. What did you say you were going to do last week to advance it, and what have you actually done?
Well, do an agenda, which I've completed. The agenda is set for the meeting. Try to finalise the meeting date. I've sent out a few reminders and I've had a little bit more intake. It's obviously quite frustrating because it's the summertime, people are on holiday. We've got a few challenges around that, but everybody I've spoken to is definitely still interested. They're just, I guess, checking their diaries and working it out. So that was really what I was supposed to do and what I have done. And also make a list of some local business, well, not local businesses, UK businesses that I want to engage with. I've done that also. Okay.
And when you say engage with, what do you mean?
Well, initially, number one, we're based in Birmingham. We're all based in Birmingham, but we want this to be a national network. So in order to make the network national, we have to find key people across the UK that will help to spread the word. The best way to do that is find organisations that already have members. They can disseminate the information to those members, and then we can get members through there.
Okay. So, in order to advance the business between now and next week, that's what you're going to do? Is there anything else you're going to do in addition?
That's what I was supposed to do.
Okay.
What I'm going to do is, well, there's not really much to do on that one. Until we've got the meeting set, even when we've got the meeting set, until we have the meeting, there's not really much room for movement other than continuing to database.
What about website, web presence, getting information out to people on social? Is it necessary to do that yet?
No, because until we have a clear manifesto, for want of a better phrase, I don't want to start putting stuff out there.
Okay.
Because whatever we put might change.
Sure.
And I think it's just a bit weird to just start coming.
Don't break it.
To say coming soon is just, it seems like a bit of a PR gimmick, really. Okay. I'd rather wait till we have stuff in concrete and then start to. And also within the network, there's people that would be able to do that much better than me. So why am I doing it?
Sure. Okay, great. Okay, so we've, sometimes we need to take one step back in order to take two steps forward, and I think that's what you're doing here. It's unfortunate, obviously, but I think you knew it wasn't going to be plain sailing all the way. But you seem like one of those people that doesn't really take setbacks, so it seems as though you're quite resilient, and if you do have a problem, you'll figure out a resourceful way of getting around that problem.
Well, I've had to be. Okay. I've been broken, been set back enough times. Yeah. If I was going to let every setback finish me, I'd be finished a long time ago.
No, but it's really interesting because I think a lot of people in your position, especially with the problem that you have, basically you don't have a product. Like, you had a product last week, and now you don't. And that's enough for a lot of people to just say, you know what, let me just not try it and let me just forget it. But actually you're like, okay, how do I see my way around this? And that's quite an admiring thing to have.
Well, to be honest, it's made me think more that this needs to be done, because clearly nobody else is doing it. Because if everybody else was doing it, I'd be able to easily find where to get it done. Yeah. So it's probably had the opposite effect. It's just, as I said, it's kind of messing with my mind a bit because I've never not known how to work something out. Yeah. So that's pretty much it. But also what I've been doing, which is not necessarily in line with the two new businesses, but I need money. I sold my business before. We've got another business running, but I'm not trying to take anything out of that at this point. So I've been looking at my website, because I actually have my own website for my own services, my own blogs, etc. DanielaGenius.com. So I've been looking at how can I revamp that, offer some of my consulting skills, my copywriting skills, to generate some income in the meantime, which I then may be able to use for the other business, the Money Manager, which we haven't spoke about for a little while, but that's primarily because I need money to get the programming done. So that's also something that I've been working on.
Okay. All right. So so we will stay tuned, and we will make a note of all the things that you mentioned, and make sure that you're held accountable to them for the next week's show. So thank you very much for your time, Daniella, and thank you for everyone who has listened and who's watched. This is our first video that we're creating today, so we're very excited to be on YouTube finally. So
I forgot the camera was there. I've been like rubbing my elbow.
All right, yeah, I've had like nervous twitches as well. So thank you very much. Thank you very much for joining me, everybody. Remember that your success is something that you create through the person that you become. So become the best possible version of yourself. Thank you very much. Bye.
Bye.